Wednesday edition of the Box Seats. I'm Mark Warwood. We have 9 races at Ascot Racecourse on Wednesday, and William Pike could be in for a bag. He has 7 of the early favourites and he's on 2 second elects in the other races. The expected track conditions at Ascot, we're expecting a sunny day, 30 degrees Celsius, a track rating of good 4, likely to dry into the good 3 range, and the rail position is out at the 12 metre mark. Race number 1 is Get the Tab Touch Maiden over 1600 metres. The replay horse is number 6, Spin on Command, finishing 3rd at Ascot on the 13th of January.
Is next, followed by Frio, Warbow and Grotto. Friar Away races alongside of Spin on Command, hitting the 200 though. Friar Away a half a length on Spin on Command. Giraffe cutting back towards the rail, and then Frio battling, but Friar Away is nicely clear inside the last 50 and draws clear Friar Away. Friar Away won it with a bit in hand over.
That was a pretty good performance by Spin on Command, and it was better because of what you didn't see in the replay. William Pike was wide in the early stages aboard her, and from the 1400 to the 1000 he couldn't get a position, so particularly meritorious, only beaten 2 and a bit lengths by Friar Away. The tongue tie goes on for the first time here. That's an interesting gear change, maps nicely, perhaps just 1 behind the leader, and it's definitely a positive that William Pike sticks. It goes on top. It's a lightly racehorse with a bit of improvement. Another horse that comes out of that race is number 4, Crimson's Rocket. It lost ground at the start. It also had a low-grade viral infection, so you can certainly forgive the run. It was beaten 12 lengths by Spin on Command, expecting it to be a lot closer on Wednesday. In its last run of last preparation, it was just behind Jackpot Prince in the Belmont Classic. That's pretty good form for a Wednesday race in January. Others to consider: number 10, Perceptive Miss. It's one of just the 2 3-year-olds in the race, certainly open to improvement. And number 2, Smoke and Mirrors, another who raced wide behind Friar Away. My on-top selection in race number 1 is number 6, Spin on Command, from number 4, Crimson's Rocket, number 10, Perceptive Miss, and number 2, Smoke and Mirrors. Race number 2 is the David Gray's Agling Handicap over 1000 metres. It's for the 3-year-olds, and it's the first of 3 consecutive sprint races on the card. The replay horse is going to be number 3, Sun Boss, finishing 6th of 8 behind Epic Grey at Belmont Park back in August.
To the outside, letting down with its run. Driftwood Girls searching for a rails run. Fine Scent making ground at the 250, and Epic Grey joined quickly by Dainty Pat. Fine Scent's a length away. Driftwood Girls down on the rail. Dainty Pat, Epic Grey fighting back at the 100 mark. Epic Grey, Dainty Pat, now Fine Scent. Epic Grey, Dainty Pat. Here's a ding-dong go. They split it. Epic Grey kicked and won.
What you saw there was Sun Boss finishing off quite well behind Epic Grey, who's certainly one of the better 3-year-old gallopers in WA currently. What you didn't see was he was very slowly away there, so beaten 3 lengths, but perhaps probably value for only beaten maybe a length of a half. That's very good form for a race such as this. Good late splits, certainly capable of improvement, and it won a recent trial, beating Countess Kinski by just under a length. Goes on top here. The favourite low will be number 4, How to Fly. Expecting this to be odds on. It was impressive at Bunbury, winning a maiden. William Pike stays aboard. Princess Zelda came out of that race and franked it with the form by winning in a maiden. Just not quite sold on the performance thus far. Consider it the main danger here, but not willing to play at the prices, and betting is all about value. Other horses to consider: number 7, Sharaska. Certainly got ability, but it's bred to be a little bit better over further, being a daughter of Trade Fair. And number 2, Dem Times, is first up off a trial behind Dicoletto, and Dicoletto, of course, won it last week. My on top selection in race number 2 is number 3, Sun Boss, from number 4, How to Fly, number 7, Sharaska, and number 2, Dem Times. Race number 3 at Ascot will be the Western Race Picks Plate over 1000 metres. It's for the 2-year-olds. It's the last 2-year-old race before the Magic Millions race at Pinjarra Park on February 10. The replay horse is number 3, Drift Star, winning a recent trial at Belmont Park.
Outside of it, Hidden Figure, and swinging out wide as Light Up the Moon. In the straight, 250 to go. Drift Star's got the lead. Saeta is on the outside coming after Drift Star, but Drift Star's doing it easily. Drift Star hardly out of second gear and raced away from Saeta, and they were well clear. In third place is Hidden Figure, but this is a very impressive win by Drift Star, and Drift Star by Sepoy. The gelding comes away, wins by 5 lengths.
That was certainly an impressive performance in the trial by Driftstar. It won by 5 lengths from Sayeda, who comes out of the Daniel Morton yard. Simon Miller has been really talking up his autumn 2-year-olds to anybody willing to listen. This is a half-brother of High Conviction that's won 3 of his 6 starts, and also a relation to Seeking Alpha that he's unbeaten 1 from 1. He's bred to be a decent early sprinter. Pike goes on as well. Aaron Mitchell rode him in both the trials. You have to say the booking of the Wizard here is a positive. Driftstar goes on top. Other horses to consider: number 1, Alluring, probably the best of the race brigade thus far. Did cast its hind plate on debut, so maybe a little bit better than the raw result. Barrier 1 here, Visors goes on, that shows intent. Number 7, Colourful Chloe, $160,000 Dan Morton paid for this horse up at the Magic Million sales at the Gold Coast. Won a recent trial, the time wasn't absolutely fantastic, and its full relations have won over trips from 900 to 1800 metres, so there is a query as to what her best trip will be, so willing to let her go around here. Other horses worth a mention: number 9, Stares and Whispers, on the very quick backup trying to get into the Magic Millions, and number 10, Universal Appeal, that's won 2 trials. But my on-top selection in race number 3 is number 3. That's Driftstar, from number 1, Alluring, number 7, Colourful Chloe, and number 10, Universal Appeal. Race number 4 at Ascot is the 5th leg handicap over 1,000 metres. It's a Class 1 handicap, a 52 plus affair. The replay horse is the bottom one, number 8, Get the Vibe, finishing second behind Tango Aura at Ascot 2 weeks ago.
Tango Aura, but he sticks on, and they've booted well clear from Get the Vibe, followed then by Cheston Flyer. Now Tango Aura ranges alongside of the Naconian, about 2 lengths to Get the Vibe. Tango Aura passing the 100, draws away. Get the Vibe runs to second, but it's Tango Aura too good. Tango Aura the favourite home in the first leg of the quaddie beat. Get the Vibe.
That was a pretty impressive effort by Get the Vibe, rated as a PB. This is an easier assignment, 54 plus into 52 plus. Got form around Ocean Jewel, only beaten 2.5 lengths by that galloper back at Belmont over 1,000 metres in September. That reads quite well for this race. Consistent, and a similar performance from last start would make it very hard to beat. Certainly rate the number 4 here, Kamiko, third up after 630 days off. Certainly rates as the key danger. Beat a Night of Pro in a barrier trial back in December, and that form has come and worked out quite well with a Night of Pro winning a competitive race. I think there's then a little bit of a gap to number 5, Watch It, who bled last start, but it was probably due to a dental issue, which I expect has been sorted, and number 6, Miss Swindle, who raced wide last start, but does lose William Pike here. He gets off to ride Kamiko. My on top selection in race number 4 is number 8, Get the Vibe, narrowly from number 4, Kamiko, 5, Watch It, and 6, Miss Swindle.